hope everyone is all right. I finally get the opportunity to do Bernie Sanders Town Hall. A few things, just as a few updates. I want to give a shout out to Mrs. Thomas. She held it down. She held down the fort during the Notre Dame fire. I was not here. I had a medical appointment. Also, I want to give a shout out to Fault Lines. So when Julian Assange was arrested, Lee Stranahan from Fault Lines was sent to the UK essentially to report on what was taking place. If you watch Fault Lines, you'll essentially hear what was taking place. Lee was reporting from the UK. He was covering Brexit, but he was also covering Julian Assange. And if I'm not mistaken, all of this was precipitated with Julian Assange. For the last, 2 weeks, Fault Lines has brought me onto the show to do a couple of episodes. So I want to give them a shout out and say thank you. Could never replace Lee on that case. But nevertheless, it was awesome to just kind of sit there and help man the show while he was gone. So there's that. Also, Patron Appreciation Show will be on 1 p.m. on Sunday. That hasn't changed. I think those are all of the updates. Now, Bernie Sanders Town Hall. Now, I couldn't wait for this. I was ecstatic for this. You have no idea. When I heard Bernie Sanders announce that he was going to be on Fox News, there were some Democrats that howled at this. But that's more like people scoffing at the good kid in class. Like, you have honor roll, you have scholar roll, and they're just mad and they're pissy, so they and their friend are going to mock you for your success and you're being just absolutely awesome. That's kind of what they came off. That came off as this kind of mean girl. Or this, I'm trying to think of one that's applicable to men, but at the very, because I guess I feel it's kind of sexist. But you get my point. It came across as you guys couldn't pull this off as well. And you're just angry about it. Me, Sanders supporters, and earnest people in the public who just wants to hear, okay, I'll give him a fair shot. Hell, even Republicans or conservative voters, hell, he's on Fox News. He had the balls to come here. I'd give him a shot. I want him to be earnest with us. I'll give him a shot. I'll give him a fair hearing. And to me, that's music to my ears. He's earnest, and he just tells you what he wants. He's not trying to hide it. He's not trying to hide the ball. This is what I want, and this is why. And I want that message to go to a conservative audience. And even if there's just a small percentage that say, okay, that's not bad, I'll take it. I will take it. So let's go through some of this. I'm not going to go through the entirety of the debate because I don't want them to take my channel down. But there are certain parts of this debate that I definitely want to hit upon, including one section where Bernie Sanders gives the argument for Medicare for all. All the other arguments can sit down and go away. He gives the argument. Like, it's succinct. It's butter on toast. Like, it's just an amazing, extraordinarily well thought out, straightforward argument on why Medicare for all should be the policy for the United States and should be supported uniformly to some degree. Or as uniformly as possible. I think it should be the policy position of the left. So let's start. I'm going to start here, not because I want to start here, but because I'd imagine some people are going to ask this question, and this has been put out in Democratic media. I showed earlier today that the Democratic Party, the established order of what is the Democratic Party, let's say it that way, does not like Sanders, and has put the word out that they need to stop Sanders, and they can't figure out how you stop a 70-something-year-old that can't be bribed or bought, and that they believe, like I believe, has a fair shot at getting to that office, or has a good chance of getting to the office. So they put out the attack dogs. One of those attacks was on Bernie Sanders because he wrote a book and was able to raise $1 million. As if there's something salacious about socialists also just so happening to becoming a millionaire. I don't understand the connection between these things. But I'm going to let Sanders answer this, even though I think this is an utterly absurd proposition to have any feelings about it all. So let's start it. Bernie Sanders, Town Hall. I'm going to slice this video up. So if you're going to see it, you're probably going to see it split up if you don't necessarily see the entirety of the video, because this is probably going to go like an hour. So let's start. Bernie Sanders, Fox News, Let's get rid of the rumble. There's also this awesome element that Fox News is the capitalist emporium of the world, and Bernie Sanders calls himself a socialist. Now, a democratic socialist, so don't misunderstand me, but you get my point. It's this classic, tell me what you stand for. And it's not hiding the ball. It's not pretending to be something that you're not. This is what I am. Take me for what I am. Yes, I believe that everybody should have health care. Yes, I believe that everybody should have access to the education that they need within a society. Yes, I think Social Security should be expanded. Yes, I'm not going to hide the ball. I'm going to tell you exactly what I believe. Let's hear him out. Bernie Sanders, Fox News.
Yay. Joe, what's your question?
Hey, Joe.
Hi, Senator Sanders. Now that your tax returns have been released and you have been identified as a millionaire and in the top 1%, will you pay your fair share? And how do you plan to apply the policies that you have been talking about enforcing on top earners? Thank you, Senator Sanders.
Well, I happen to believe, Joe, that we have an absurd tax system. And while millions of people today are paying actually more in taxes than they anticipated, Amazon, Netflix, and dozens of major corporations as a result.
Is he still an independent? He's not still an independent, is it? Is he? Bernie Sanders, independent senator from Vermont? I don't know if that's right, but maybe. I mean, I don't know if that's right. I need to check that out. I just noticed that. I just have a hard time believing he's still being independent running in the Democratic process for president, but it's possible. Let's continue.
Result of Trump's tax bill paid nothing in federal taxes. I think that's a disgrace. So today we announced now you raised the issue, I am a millionaire. Well, actually, this year we had $560,000 in income. And that's a lot of money. And that money, in my case, my wife's case, it came from a book that I wrote. Pretty good book. You might want to read it. It was a bestseller, sold all over the world, and we made money. So if anyone thinks that I should apologize for writing a best-selling book, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it. But let me reiterate, I voted against. I guess on Fox News you said that I benefited from Trump's tax bill. Did you tell people that I voted against Trump's tax bill?
Sure, but you did benefit from it.
Yeah.
What does it matter if he benefited from it? I don't understand. This is what I mean. I guess I don't understand this argument. I guess this is kind of a feeling-based argument that people feel some kind of way about it. But a socialist writes a book and becomes a millionaire. And that people are raising it up like, ha, the socialist is a millionaire. So what? You act as if it's an insane proposition that people vote against their own self-interest. And if that's the proposition that you guys are putting out, and I'm saying this from the standpoint of Democrats, because Democrats put this out, Fox News started blowing this up. But if you believe that that's the proposition, what does that mean about you? What does it mean about you? Yes, socialists can be a millionaire. And yes, millionaires can vote for policies that are against their self-interest. And in this case, Bernie Sanders has been Bernie Sanders for the past 40 years. And yes, he voted against the tax bill that Donald Trump put out. It doesn't really matter if he benefited from it or not.
But I voted against it. And I happen to believe that a tax bill written and pushed by Trump, who told the American people that that tax bill, some of you may recall, would not benefit the wealthy. You remember that? Oh, it's not going to benefit the wealthy. 83% of the benefits went to the top 1%. So I think that's a bad idea. And in my view, people, whether it's me, you probably make a lot more money than I do. But whether it's me or you or anybody else, I think wealthy people and large corporations that are making billions in profits should start paying their fair share of taxes.
But Senator, to your point, and to Joe's point, your taxes do show that you're a millionaire. You did make $1 million in 2016, 2017. You're right, the 561 in 2018. But your marginal tax rate was 26% because of President Trump's tax cuts. So why not say, you know, I'm leading this revolution. I'm not going to take those.
Come on, we're doing.
this is somewhat of a ridiculous proposition, right? This is completely ludicrous. I mean, it is a very different thing of somebody making, let's say, $1 million and benefiting from a tax bill that they voted against, as opposed to a company like Amazon that makes billions and pays zero taxes. There's a massive difference between those things. Taking this to the level of the individual, when honestly the conversation that is trying to be had is about how the corporate tax structure or how the tax system is rigged in a way that it benefits one at the expense of the other, meaning this kind of exploitive relationship in which cash is funneled from the bottom to the top. That's his point. Bringing this to the level of an individual is somewhat of a red herring, and I don't understand what Bernie Sanders writing a book and getting $1 million has to do with the price of tea in China. So I'm going to move this forward to 9:14 because I have to be honest, this is the question I care about the least on here, but I wanted to give him the opportunity to at the very least answer that question. All right.